when I had Derek Oslin on, we were talking for like 30 minutes, and then Austin had issues, and then Bo never replied. So like yeah, we lost like 30 minutes of recording. Yeah, I get it, but yeah, I thought, yeah, I don't know. Either way, no hard feelings.
Bo's a very he doesn't talk a lot either, so
I've noticed that. Yeah. When Ron Harris gets him to talk on mic, I'm always impressed because I'm like, you get him to open up a little bit and start talking, but yeah, he seems like he's pretty reserved.
I think he's just tired.
Probably, yeah. Well, Puerto Rico, and then he didn't take much of a break coming into Chicago, and then I just watched his interview with Ron Harris, and it sounds like he's shutting it down for the season, getting ready for the Olympia.
He's not doing the Olympia?
No, I mean he's gonna do the Olympia, but yeah.
Yeah, I worked with Andrew Vu, his prior, or that's his coach now.
Okay.
And, I mean, he gets you peeled, right? You do some cardio to get into that shape. So, I mean, he's got to be doing a lot of cardio, I bet. So
that's what he's saying. He's saying he's doing a lot of stair stepper.
Oh man, that's all we did was that stair stepper twice a day. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a monster. I could imagine. I think on my last prep, we got up to like an hour and 20 minutes, 2 sessions on the stair stepper. That was rough. Yeah. But yeah, I was not where I needed to be with conditioning. So we were really hammering it the last month, and best package I've ever brought so far. So
nice.
I was really happy. But this year we'll see. I've had 2 years off, lots of lifting, unfortunately 2 injuries, but I think we'll still be okay. So
what did you injure?
I tore my right labrum and my right hamstring.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do deadlifts or something, or?
The hamstring was doing sprints, unfortunately, and then I was doing like a flag football thing for the Army one morning after doing front squats the night before, and it just went, and I was like, I didn't know what was happening when it happened, and then like I was laying on the ground, I'm like, oh, hamstring, oh no. And then the
explosion when you break, or usually pop it, or the fibers tear out. That's
yeah, and I felt it aggravate a little bit last night when I was doing sprints on the those treadmills that are like arched like that, where it's like the free motion ones. Oh my gosh, it felt so good to like, because I've been like babying it and like trying to like take it easy and not like aggravate it over the last year or so. And like the last 2 days I've like done a little bit of sprints, and it just feels like I felt alive doing it. But last night I felt it getting a little tender, and I was like, okay, let's back off, take tomorrow off. So, and then the labrum tore. I was doing overhead presses, and I think I let the bar rest a little too far down, and then it just.
Is that
the right shoulder labrum, the muscle that attaches the shoulder that keeps, because like if you're really attentive, you'll see my shoulder shrink or slouch when we talk. It's because I don't have control of it anymore, so it just floats.
I have issues with my right one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sucker.
Yeah, shoulders
right.
Yeah. So like when I do my presses, I have to really squeeze that scapula and then really push everything down. And then like I haven't done anything over like 80-pound dumbbells anymore, just because I'll start to use momentum and try to like balance it and stuff. And like at that point, I'm not feeling it in the shoulder or in the chest anymore. And that's something I've learned when Phil Karr was on. He was really hammering me like, hey man, don't worry about what people are doing on Instagram. Like, he's like, I don't do big weights anymore. And look at me. I mean, he didn't say it like that, but like that was the sentiment. So, yeah, Phil's a monster. I'm so excited for him. Tampa, and if he doesn't win Tampa, then Texas for him.
He did Tampa, he did Chicago, Tampa, and Texas last year.
Yes. Yep.
And he did better every show, which
so impressive.
He could have won Texas.
He could have. Yeah, I was definitely rooting for him, and he was new for me. But once he got on that stage with Ian and Steve, I was like, wow, just wow.
He's like 6 foot 270.
Yeah,
he's big. He's pretty big.
And for his age, I mean, he's so competitive.
I didn't know he's Caribbean. I think he's Jamaican.
Or Jamaican, yeah.
So it's Sean Roden, rest in peace, was the same ethnicity, and he was like in his 40s too when he won the Olympia. So
yeah, people like forget that.
Really good ethnicity to be bodybuilding because they don't age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's this? Black don't crack, I think is the saying. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's something somebody says, but yeah, it's definitely a thing. I know, like white. I mean, I'm a white guy, so I got Abby in the corner today. Like I smile way too much, so I know like I'll be breaking everywhere once I'm like 60. So I gotta start doing like a skin routine. Gotta start it before I'm 30 because it's gonna be rough. I'm not gonna stop smiling. This is me like 7 days a week.
Yeah, it's funny because you say that white guys. Because my dad's like 100% Russian, so
oh wow,
whiter than you, but I noticed they just age different. You know, like the bones and just everything. You can tell like he was an old school bodybuilder, but he had like you could just see the muscle fades away faster.
Okay.
Like the skin isn't as tight as like my mom's Hawaiian, so she's 70. Her skin is like she looks really good. So I mean, different ethnicities.
Something about like that Asian, maybe not always, you know, I'm not gonna stereotype, but like historically I've noticed like Asian, especially ladies, they don't age as aggressively as like say like Midwest white women. So I don't know what it is, but
probably the food too. I mean, they eat pretty clean.
Yeah, in Midwest white women is like Midwest white women
burgers.
That'd be a good shirt. Yeah, burgers and dairy. Yeah, because I'm from Wisconsin, which is like mini Canada, and it's pretty much just nothing but like dairy and brats and burgers and gosh, it's not good.
Saturated fat and oils.
Yeah, that's what I was raised on.
Yeah.
Pancakes in the morning with a bunch of syrup and yikes. You know, Abby, funny story. I had a friend of mine. She went abroad to study in Canada, and she was up there, I think Skyping us at the time. I don't think Zoom was out. I was in high school still. And she was talking about Canadian bacon, and I must have been like 9th grade or something, 8th grade. I'm like, oh, and I was like, how is it up in Canada? Or Canada, because like Canadian bacon, Canada. And it's probably been 10 years now, and she still brings it up.
Oh, that's hilarious.
She's like, so have you ever thought about going up to Canada? I'm like,
She'll never let you live that one down.
No.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she's good though. She ended up joining the Air Force and then married some like Saudi guy. So like turned out really good for her. I was like, that's crazy.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, Austin, what is the plan, man? We haven't had you on the show yet. So how is your off season? You look massive online. You said you were like peak off season at like, what was it, like 260?
Pretty good condition. And just it's like with Jason, he was on the border of 212 and then open.
Yeah.
So we're the same height, same kind of build. He's like the same size as me. And we talked about this 2 years ago in Chicago, backstage doing Chicago Pro. And I was like, you're going open, right? And he's like, yeah. It was like, oh, you want to go too? So we've always mentally wanted to go to open. I just think we were so fresh, we didn't know we could do it because they were still growing and stuff. So this year last year I did pretty good at Texas Pro. I thought I could have won it, but I was just like, man, for some reason I'm backstage, I just see all the guys in the 212 and I'm just like, I just don't get riled up. Like this is my top full potential because they're a little bit shorter and stockier and stuff. But I see Steve and Ian backstage and all those, and I'm like, man, I got to be in the open. This is like the best. You know, you want to be the best.
I mean, open is like the pinnacle. I mean, originally you had what, Abby, open and fitness. So it's like you have like those are like the two OGs. So yeah, you're gonna want to rotate or like levitate towards, you know, those bigger divisions. So it makes sense.
Yeah, I just think with my frame and then my size. I'm like, not, I mean, I could go both ways. I could do 212 and squeeze in and do really good. But when we were like this year, we were going to do, I think Texas Pro. And then I was like, man, I work with AJ Sims. So
Yep.
he was like, I say you keep growing because you're getting better and better and bigger and bigger. So we were like, yeah, let's just keep growing because I always want to jump in a show. So, I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm like, should I just keep going for the rest of the year? Or I was looking at doing that Legion Pro. So,
oh yeah, that'd be a good one. How cool would that be? You do open for that, just like how
yes.
I'm drawing a blank here.
Sean,
wow, yeah, the way Sean did.
I think that's a good show to get just some exposure and then do the open and see how I look. I think honestly, if I could just come in on stage at like between 227 to 230 with my shape, I think it would be a good look. And then even if I won I'm just saying if I won the show, I think I would still sit out, not do the Olympia, just to keep growing into the open. Because it's a big, I mean, that's like my goals ever to be in the Olympia, like Jay Cutler and stuff like that. So I think just taking time and being consistent and just being patient, I can do it. I just got to be patient. So I don't want to rush the process and then jump in the Olympia or something. And then, you get a bad placing and you feel like crap. And then like, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah. I mean, this is from 2021. Never mind.
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah, that was last year. I was like 215 or something. That was all season, kind of fluffy, but I would think I was 260 there or something.
260.
I mean,
you could still see like really good lines in separation and the legs, the midsections, like your obliques are really controlled.
Right.
I mean, this is a good package for, what you said, cut 30 pounds and then open.
Yeah, I think that's the look and the size that I want to be. I don't want to be 212 or 210.
Yeah.
And the condition's crazy at that level, but like the muscle quality and the roundness and stuff, you just don't, you can't bring that with that 212 position.
No, you got to deplete yourself. I mean, more than anyone, best than anyone, but like if you have to deplete 50 pounds to make weight, like I know Jason's talking about, and he'll be on in a second, but like, it's a monster how much you guys have to cut. And don't you think that really limits the possibility of your physique? Like you're not going to bring your best if you have limitations.
You won't be as freaky, like round and keep that muscle quality. And I think you're going to sacrifice losing some muscle, which that's not the point, right? You want to be able to be the biggest and hardest. So, and that's like the whole talk of the year with Derek Lunsford, Jason. So, I mean, we're like those guys that can do open and can do 212, but we'd rather do open. Yeah. And, but the open's a whole nother, it's another battle too. You got guys like Nick Walker and
you got some serious freaks in that top six.
That's the problem is you want to bring your best, but you don't want to get caught up in that size mass game.
Yep.
So you got to be able to just keep focusing on what do I look the best like, and stop focusing on big Rami, because those guys are just going to outsize you all day long. So,
do you think? I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one too, Abby. Do you think that the Olympia, especially for the open, is going to start shifting away from the mass freakiness and go towards more like a Sean Roden, more like a Rafael Brandeo look? You think they're going to start favoring that, or is it still going to be kind of like a freak fest? You still got Nick Walker in the mix. Hunter is a little bit more aesthetic. He's massive, but small waist, good flow, knows how to pose. Love that. Hottie's a freak. Bonac. Can Bonac pose? Does he pose?
You can hit him. He just, I think he has so much muscle, It's like,
hard to move around with that.
Watch him. No matter what he does, just he has so much mass.
Yeah.
Roundness.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Like, I've seen a lot of shows favoring the more aesthetic look, the clean lines, the small taper in the midsection, that X frame. But I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen at the Olympia this year.
That's personally what I enjoy seeing. Like I like the more aesthetic, like the nice lines, pop of the muscle, but I feel like that freak factor and like the size, it almost sells. Like people pay to go see these freaks that just are massive. But I don't know, once you get the understanding of like the art behind it and you can see the lines and the symmetry and that sort of thing, I don't know. I like the more aesthetic, old school, but that's just me. But who knows? Like, I don't know, maybe like the freak factor, the bigger guys, like that's what's gonna sell a bit more. And maybe that's why they're pushing more towards that. Or maybe they do want to bring it back just because that's how it kind of used to be, like more favoring the aesthetic portion.
Yeah. Austin?
I think, well, because you have Samson Dauda.
Ooh, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's going to be a threat.
He's crazy, and he's 320 pounds with the lines and the look.
With the little midsection. Yeah.
With the little midsection, you have Don Quinton out of Canada. Q works with Dorian. He's 6'1" with a small waist.
Yeah, if he qualifies, yeah.
Huge legs. Antoine's more thicker in the waist, but he's a taller guy with good lines.
Yep.
So these guys are like the same aesthetic look as a guy 5'8", like my height, and they're 6 foot and they're huge. So I think it just comes down to like what you look like, the proportion wise. It's always going to win. Like you have crazy proportions and lines and shape, like Sean Roden did. It's just a beautiful physique. Like
that wow factor.
Yeah, I would pick that over Rami any day of the week if Roden was around. But then you have guys like Jay Cutler and Ian. They're just so massive. You can't deny how much muscle they bring in the condition with the muscle.
Yeah.
It's insane because the guy 260 plus with peeled glutes at that size is unbelievable. So it's hard to tell because it seems like they're going more towards the big freaks now.
Yeah, the last few years. Yeah.
I think if you look at all the guys online, it's like everybody's 260, 270 plus. It's like, I don't know, back in the day, like no guys were that big. No way. Maybe a couple, but they were like 220s, 230s. So I think
back in the day,
everything has kind of evolved to bigger. Yeah. And they just want to see, like she said, the freaks. Like these guys they want to see the freak mass.
Yeah.
But I would rather personally myself be like more of a Hunter, a Samson with a pretty waist, good tapered waist, small, and then wide lats. But I think it just depends how you look next to the next guy. And then
it's all about like also, what someone brings that day. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Brandon Curry has a nice tiny waist.
Yeah, don't forget about Brandon. Yeah. We had a nice couple of years with Sean Roden and then Brandon, like really nice years, great lines, good controlled midsections. I mean, Brandon, despite, the critiques of his lower body, especially from the back, like he's a monster up top. I mean, so wide. I can't wait. Like I'm hoping to go to the Olympia this year and actually see these guys in person. And like, I just can't imagine because I'm 6'2". So like I'm a big guy. But I'm only like 240 right now, and it's not a good 240. So we're getting there.
I was at a seminar with Regan, and he's 6 foot, 300 pounds right now. But it's like when I'm next to the guys when they're, like we're in the off season and stuff, like I don't really notice because like everybody thinks I'm big too. So it's like, but when you get down shredded to the bone, it's like, how much muscle can you carry on your frame with being in shape? So it just, I think it's apples to oranges, I think though the times that we live in is like people want the freaks.
Yeah. It's a toss up.
Yeah.
I think the freaks want the freaks. And, I'm more of a classic fella. I like, smaller lines, being in shape. I'm tired of being big, relatively, and Abby kind of had her sentiments towards classic as well. So it's definitely a toss up.
If you want to be in like the classic beautiful lines, just do classic physique. But
Yeah, there's a whole division
freak,
for us. Yeah, and then let the freaks be freaks. But
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
But I think a lot of the classic guys could be in the open because they're tall.
Yep.
And
They
have
outgrow the division.
waist, but they don't want to push it to the level of the open guys because it's just so much work. To be honest, it's like you could do that, but why? When you could just be pretty, have the nice, physique and look just as good. You don't have to be 300 pounds. You could be 210. And people would still think you're a freak.
Yeah. There's a lot of people, even like Horse MD, him not making weight in Brazil and having to, announce he's doing open. There is a serious, it's not a bad thing, but there's definitely a move in classic and even in men's physique that people are outgrowing their divisions in a good way. But they're not to the point where they're going to be competitive in the top 10 at the Olympia. And I know that's kind of like a crazy thing to say because it's like the 10 best people in the world, but that's what everyone strives for. Like that's everyone's dream. I'm sure, even for like Austin, like top 10 is like the minimum is what he's looking at. So, and even for Abby as well in her division. So it's definitely a conversation. Like, I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Do we move the weight cap up again in classic? Because we've already given them like 10 or 15 pounds. Or I'd hate to say make a new division. Like that just sounds, then we're going to start catching up to the ladies. The ladies got like, no offense, of course, all love, but like 6 or 7 divisions, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 6.
Yeah, the men have 4.
Because wellness.
Wellness just came in. Yep.
They have like at least 5, at least.
Yeah. Figure, physique, women's bodybuilding, bikini, wellness, and fitness.
Yeah.
6.
Wow.
Math is not my strong suit, but I look at these scorecards a lot, so I see things repeat.
I almost feel like the figure and the fitness, they can almost. Is there? I don't know because I promote bodybuilding too. So do you think there's a big physique difference in the fitness and the figure girls, or not the figure? Figure and fitness.
No, there's not much. And we were actually talking about that on the last podcast, how we were kind of talking about what category we would potentially like get rid of if we could choose one. And fitness, like it's essentially figure, but with the routine round. So it is very similar criteria compared to figure. Like same shape, like they want same leanness, whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty much the same.
That's what I thought with like Whitney Jones. You've seen her; she could be in figure.
Oh yeah, she's a monster.
Well, Missy Trescott. She actually, I don't remember what year it was. I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. She actually hopped in to a figure show and placed top 3 because her physique is ridiculous. Like she's got that freaky X frame, and she placed top 3 in a figure competition, Miss Olympia Fitness, and then like top 3 figure as well. So it's pretty cool.
I saw her at Dragon's Lair. She goes to Dragon's Lair a lot. I think she gets there's a guy there with the torture room. He does like massage and stuff.
Yes.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, and she's freaky. I mean, pretty lines. She's definitely a Miss Olympia look. You could see it. Paired up. I mean, just the tiny waist with the wide lats. Crazy.
Yeah. Which you don't see as often in fitness because a lot of us are ex-gymnasts and we typically have a wider waist. A lot of us are shorter, so we don't have much of a waist, or like we have overdeveloped obliques just from all the gymnastics training. So for her to have that like tiny waist and like crazy, just like, again, X-frame, it's impressive. I'm excited to see what she brings this year. Wise. I know she changed her training a bit this year since the last Olympia, so it'll be interesting.
She was working with John Meadows, right? Yeah. Yes, I noticed he was training her. I was like, yeah, that chick's shredded. Huge.
Yeah. That was John's signature, was just like great conditioning.
I don't really follow the fitness too much, but I actually, I used to I promote a show in Las Vegas called the Steve Karr Las Vegas Classic. But we actually got rid of our fitness because no girls were doing it. And we just couldn't keep that division open because we didn't get any entries. So But I used to have it. We used to love seeing fitness girls because we start the show with them, and it starts like off the whole show with a good routine.
It's super entertaining. I know it's sad. The numbers have definitely been going down a bit, and I think it's because of all these introduction to new categories. Like fitness is hard. Like not a lot of people want to get depleted and have to do this like high intensity routine at the same time. So when other categories kind of opened up and they're like, okay, well, my body fits into this category. Now I don't have to do this routine, especially if you don't have a background in like cheerleading or dance, gymnastics. Like they're going to opt for just a physique category that doesn't have the routine. But and I think COVID had a huge impact too, like just numbers all around, especially in Canada. Like all the shows have been small, like all the regional amateur shows, the numbers have been down. So hopefully like things will like start to turn around now that things are opening back up and we're kind of living again. So we'll see.
Well, starting today, I mean, we have 9-10 fitness competitors for the Chicago Pro coming up, within the hour. So very exciting to see a full lineup of fitness ladies.
It's exciting, yeah, because this year so far, like they've been smaller shows for fitness. So it's exciting to see like a bigger show. And I'm kind of sad because originally I was going to do this one.
But you don't need to anymore.
Don't need to anymore, but I'm kind of sad because I've always wanted to do Chicago. So next year I'll have to, it'll definitely be on the list.
What show did you win? Did you win a show?
Vancouver.
Yeah, she just won
right.
Vancouver. Yep.
That's right. I did see that. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I forgot about that show. That was what, 2 weeks ago or last week?
Last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend.
It was just past Sunday. Oh my gosh, not even a week.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're on your road to the low then, huh?
Yep.
It's crazy to hear.
I'm jealous.
Oh, you'll be there.
Yeah, either if I'm in it or if I'm there just working a booth or something, I'll be there.
Oh, awesome.
Do you train at Pure Muscle and Fitness at all?
I've been there. I do not train there all the time. Like I need to get out there more. It's about an hour and a half from me. So it just sucks. I would make the drive like even weekends or something, but like with school and everything, it's just, again, it's like time. Like I already drive half hour to my gym. Like there's nothing really around me, which sucks. Yeah. So like a half hour there and back is already like, like it's a lot of training and time and then to put like, yeah, exactly. School and work on top. It's just like, there's not enough hours in the day. As much as you like try to make enough hours, it's.
Yeah. Especially packing your meals, trying to get your pre-workout in, you eat it too quick and then you're in traffic. You're stuck and you're like, crap, I might eat another meal. And then if you don't have a post-workout meal, you're like driving in on the freeway going hyperglycemic.
Exactly. It's a lot of preparation and like thinking ahead, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Dragon's Lair from where I live is 50 minutes. And then and I'm still like, I can get there twice a week, or sometimes I have a local gym like the Lift Factory is next to me. It's like 10 minutes. So I can literally eat my food and I'm right there at the gym, ready to go.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think just location is kind of key to where you're training and stuff like that. You don't want to have to wait, travel. By the time you get there, you're tired. So,
yeah. Especially if you're doing like 2 sessions a day or something like that. Like if you're going to, that's the worst.
I made sure I bought a step mill and I have a treadmill and a little recycling bike in my garage, so I don't have to go twice. Go there, do cardio and then come back and then go back to the gym. I can't stand that.
We have a treadmill, but I would love a Stairmaster.
Yeah.
That would save.
Mine isn't a Stairmaster. It's like a. Little.
The one where you can just kind of like bounce a little bit.
It's pretty intense, though. I mean, you
heart rate up.
30 minutes of that, you're burning. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah,
I'd rather do the treadmill.
Yeah. I think everyone prefers treadmill, but something about the stepper is just like
it's intense.
Yeah,
you're pushing. It feels like you're using way more glycogen or energy to get through a 45-minute session than you were to do the treadmill.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. When you guys do the treadmill, how fast do you usually go?
See, I like the Stairmaster better only because with the treadmill, to get my heart rate up, I have to go like I gotta go like almost max incline in like a 3, at least minimum 3.5 speed, like just to get my heart rate where I need it. Whereas on the Stairmaster, I can go a bit slower and I'm getting a good sweat and my heart rate gets right up there. So I don't know. I prefer the Stairmaster, but
Yeah, Stairmaster.
What about you?
I don't do walking cardio on a treadmill. I try to reduce the impact because I'm stupid and I like to do sprints and running because I'm still in the army, so I have to run. I'll do the what's it called, the elliptical thing, the no impact. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'll just like
arms like this.
Yeah, I'll put my I don't have my watch on now, but like I'll just have my watch with the heart rate thing, and I'll just watch it to make sure it doesn't go over what, like 120, 130. So it's a lot better for me.
You keep your heart rate within the 120 to 130 range?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's 130. I think it's 130. I have to check my notes again, but yeah.
I know with my old coach, he had me get my heart rate up to 135 and keep it there.
Yeah.
But like she was saying, I couldn't do the treadmill, whether it be 4.0 to get it to 135. But if I did the incline Stairmaster up at like 7.0 incline, I could get that right 10 minutes in. I'm like at 135 instantly.
Yeah.
I think it's just a lot easier.
Do you think having your heart rate higher burn, like you get more out of it? I don't know, because people say, oh, you don't need it that high. But I notice when I get it that high, I usually get in really good shape.
Same. Like mine sometimes I'll even do it in like, I'm like 130, between 130, 150 even sometimes, like on the Stairmaster, like I'll get it up higher. And same thing, like you get a good sweat, you feel great. And yeah, you're just in better shape. So,
yeah,
but I know there's like that optimal fat burning zone too.
Yeah.
So it's
Abby's the educated one. Yeah. There's definitely a difference between like the endurance and then the fat burning zones, where you're going to be, I don't know if it's metabolizing the muscle as much, but I think once you get over 160, then you're going to start digging into you're digging into your glycogen storage regardless, but
yeah,
you're taking something away from your muscle after 160, or at least I think I saw a picture once with a graph with colors. So
the thing is like if you're going too intense for like long periods of time, like if it's supposed to be steady state, you're not supposed to be going like crazy all out to the point where you're exhausted, because that's just extra stress on the body where you need to recover, and stress is another huge factor that is going to influence weight loss. So it's like that fine balance of getting in a good cardio session to burn the calories and get in shape, but not completely exhausting yourself to the point where there's just too much stress on the body. Like I personally find like when I have like a smoother prep where I have less cardio, I end up looking better come showtime compared to if I'm doing crazy amounts of cardio to try to get ready, because it's just, again, like the body just can't keep up with recovery, especially if sleep's lacking too. Like that's a whole other story, but
yeah, I think cortisol is higher when you're doing way more cardio, and you're going to retain way more water. You're not going to digest as well because you're constantly stressing out your body. Like she said, there's stress and there's oxidative stress. If you continually give your body stress, you won't get in shape no matter what you're doing. I think you won't be your best. You're mentally and physically, you're going to feel like crap.
I'm so used to Tyler hopping in at this point and just like going off on a tangent about like, it's about flow, bro. It's flow.
Yeah. I know. My old coach, Justin Miller, he would say balance. You got to have balance. Everything is balance. Like don't do too much, don't do too little, but find the sweet spot.
Yeah.
So I think cardio, I know, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say less is more.
Yeah.
Sometimes, in some instances it is like,
especially if you skip rest days like I do,
Yeah.
It's less is more, people. Trust me. Because
well,
like
there's some people need to do a ton of cardio because you got to give them cardio because they're not going to lose weight or get in shape.
Sure.
But for the people that are already doing everything you need to do, more cardio is not. They think in their mind, oh, I'm going to get more peeled, and it's like you're not going to do anything. You're just wasting your time.
Yeah, you can only catch up so much.
Right.
What is it? You can't outwork a bad diet.
Right.
Yeah, if you're not crossing your T's and dotting your I's, when it comes to prep, you can't just hammer like what I did in my last show. We just dropped the hammer on the stairs twice a day for like, I think it was 120 minutes. So it was like 2 hours a day. And like, I didn't see anything wrong with it because I was just like, hey, got to do what you got to do. I'd wake up in the morning, put my sweat gear on, drive. This was so stupid. I'd drive 40 minutes to do an hour of stairs and then drive 40 minutes back. And then once I got done with work, I'd drive 40 minutes back to the gym. Like, I don't know how my wife.
Did you train after work too?
Yeah. So I'd wake up in the morning around like 4 and go do my stairs, and I go to work at 8, and then I get off work at 5, and then spend another 3.5 hours or something commuting and working out. I get home at like 8 o'clock at night.
Go back to bed.
No, and then I'd start my YouTube because I was doing like supplement reviews at the time. So then I would just like spend 2 hours editing some garbage video that would get 10 views. Like, it was horrible. I don't know how my wife now, my girlfriend at the time, I don't know how she stayed with me.
But you probably stressed yourself out too doing that.
Oh, I was so tired I couldn't even cook my food anymore. Like, when I got out of bed, like, and I wasn't super lean, but like I could feel it in my feet and my joints hurt, and it's just like I could barely walk. When I got to work, I was just, my uniform was so big on me. I would just like sit there, my face was all sucked out. I'd be like, just sit there and look at my emails for 8 hours.
What do you do in the Army?
So I do IT. So I got a pretty sweet gig. So it's mostly like desk work, but fixing laptops and stuff like that.
Do you feel so you're basically, you're just sitting there, you're sitting around?
Very sedentary. Yep.
Oh, that's not bad. So
for like 90% of the time.
You're not walking like across the base trying to, drill sergeant diets.
Oh, no. I consider that real. And this is like me just like being mean to myself, but like, I consider that the real Army. And then what I do is, I don't know what it is, but I wear a uniform and I go to a military base. But it's maybe somebody will dress you by your rank, maybe they won't. Like, it's super relaxed. We work with a couple civilians. It's it's a desk job. It's very corporate. It's not what you would think when you think of the Army. It's very weird.
How long have you been with the Army?
11 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what rank are you considered?
So I'm an E5 sergeant. And then I'll be up for my staff sergeant soon, which is E6. I am up for it. It's just waiting for them to say I'm good to go.
This staff sergeant, do you have to do like drill and stuff like that?
Well, I'm full time, so I do it full time. So I don't do like the 1 week in a month.
Okay.
If that's what you're referring to, drill.
Yeah, the guys that are on reserve
yeah.
duty.
Yeah. So I'm an active status within the reserves. So I'm in the reserves, but I work full time. It's kind of like a special program.
That's cool.
It's kind of weird.
Do you guys do they have places on the base to work out and stuff?
Yeah, we have a base gym, but it's really busy, and because of COVID, we have to go by appointment. So they have like blocks that you have to fill out. You're like, oh, hey, I want to be in this room, like, because they have like the lower body, upper body, free weights, yoga. So you have to like sign out the free weight room for 30-minute blocks, and they won't let you do more than 2. So you get 1 hour in one room, and then it's like a max capacity of 8, and it just wasn't ideal. So I got a corporate membership, and it's been great ever since. But
where are you at as far as what state?
Just outside San Francisco.
Oh, okay, Cali.
Yep. So I was in Kansas City originally, or not originally, but for the last 4 years I was in Kansas City, and then almost 2 years ago they moved me from Kansas City to where I am now, which is called Camp Parks.
Gotcha. So there's got to be like Crunch, LA Fitness, all that kind of stuff, right?
Probably. The only thing I really see is 24 hour is the one I go to. And I have 4 of them within 15 minutes of me. So I have a lot of variety. And then there's like other like smaller corporate ones, but not a lot of cool hole in the wall bodybuilding ones. So I do miss that, but
I think 24 Hour Fitness, I used to go to ever. That's a good gym, to be honest.
It's a lot of hammer strength. They have hammer strength that's plate loaded and pin loaded, so that you have a lot of variety. I was joking with Abby and Tyler the other time. They have the glute extension machine. They have 5 of them in a row. So you can like, you got you and the girls, they could just hold hands while they're all doing it together, and you could set up a tripod to make cool videos. But I haven't seen it yet, but I thought it was funny that they had 5 of them in a row.
Jeez.
Yep.
My one gym has 1, and then my other has none. So that's crazy.
I've never seen one before. Like, well, I saw 1 at the other gym, but then they had 5, and I was like, and then I just started seeing like it's a very fit gym, and like everyone is wearing like, you know, the workout clothes, the sports bra, the yoga shorts. The dudes are rolling in with like the vintage shorts and the stringers. So it's like, it's a good environment to be in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's a couple big guys, so I gotta muster up the strength to talk to them. Be like, hey, do you like bodybuilding?
You go in there with your army outfit?
No. I try to take that off as soon as I get off work. It's just kind of, I don't know. Just it's not boring. It's just like, it just draws too much attention, and like, yeah, I just don't like being
noticed.
Well, there's that. Yeah. So like I have like bad anxiety, not like Cedric level anxiety, but like enough anxiety where it's like, if somebody approaches me, like I don't want to talk about the army. I want to talk about like bodybuilding, because like that's what's really excites me. The army is just kind of like, it's like your job, you know. No one wants to talk about you working at Taco Bell. It's kind of like that, but nothing like Taco Bell.
I would go in there with like a green shirt with like with the BDUs, like army pants with boots on, and just squat.
Yeah,
like,
I had a old supervisor. That's what he did. He would just at lunch, he'd go in there in full uniform, but he also had like massive arms, and he'd just walk in there and just curl. And I'm like, I'm not there yet.
I think people respect they respect like military a lot more than they do the bodybuilders. I don't know. It's weird. It's just
it's like it's the whole marketing and the way, especially the US has like portrayed the military as like, you know, the best, most professional organization in the world. And then like, it's a lot of marketing and I guess good propaganda to like make it what it is now. Yeah. So yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna use the bathroom.
Sure. Well, we could take a break from that. Abby, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10. There are 10 ladies on the scorecard for fitness.
Yes, but I think I might say her name wrong, but Arika, I don't know if she's actually competing or not. I think I saw a post just last night from her. Let me look.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, you know what? It's not there anymore. It'll be interesting because I'm pretty sure she posted a story like a day or two ago where she said that she's not there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens come prejudging. Because she's been a top contender like the last couple years. I can't remember. I think it was 2020, end of 2020. She won like 2 or 3 pro shows like back to back. Leading to that so she's got quite the experience in the pro league. And the rankings too, like she's got a couple titles under her belt, and typically like around that like top 5 placing in a typical pro show. No top 3 at like the Olympia yet. I don't know top 6 either, but one of the top contenders. She's got wicked routines, like difficulty and creativity, and she really performs well for the audience. So it'd be awesome to see her this weekend. So I hope she's here, but if not, 9 for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let me pull up. Daniel posted the scorecards. I unfortunately didn't post fitness, so I can't plug my own stuff, but that's okay. Yeah, I think I saw, was it Sarah Kovac or was it Tess Michaela? They had like 4 Olympia visits. Sarah? So she's been to the Olympia 4 times.
And the Arnold 4 times. She actually won the Chicago Pro last year. So she's the reigning Chicago champ. And she is favored to win. So Muscle Insider did some like predictions and they have her favored to win. Looking at the list, just like me looking at it, I would have her favored to win as well. But again, you never know what happens. You never know what the judges are looking for. And you never know what these girls are doing with their time away from stage. So it'll be an interesting show for sure. But no, I'm really excited for her. She always brings an awesome routine, great difficulty, and always brings an awesome physique as well. So it'll be awesome to watch her.
Okay. Now, when it comes to fitness, there's not, I don't want to say there's not a lot that the women can do to separate themselves, year to year, but what can, we're saying Sarah's the favorite, and if Eureka shows up, maybe she battles it out for 1 and 2, who knows? But what's the probability of somebody from left field, or is it right field? I don't know baseball, from left field, whatever, coming in and shocking the top 3 or top 2? Like, what would somebody need to do to get that?
For sure. So one thing is like just bringing that total package, but the routine is worth more. So it's worth 2/3. So,
Okay.
So it's not like the physique round is obviously important. That's your first impression to the judge. So that's the first time they're going to see you out at that competition. So the physique round is important because especially in a bigger show, even like this show, there's 9 or 10 athletes. Yeah. That's how they're going to remember you going into the routine round. So they already kind of are like, okay, maybe this person, like 1, 2, 3 had top physiques. I'm now like have an extra eye out for their routines. What are their routines going to look like? Smaller shows, you don't have to worry about that as much because even like they're going to remember all 3 or 5 of you if there's only 3 or 5 of you. But at a bigger show, like you need something that's going to make you kind of stand out to remember them. So whether it's like your presentation in posing. So even if maybe you don't have the strongest physique, but you go out with extreme confidence, you have you've really practiced your posing and you have a really beautiful and entertaining posing routine to the point where like it just captivates, if that makes sense. Like you just exude that confidence and you
that
just
Terrence Ruffins effect.
Yes. Yeah. His posing's phenomenal, but because you can really like as a judge, like even as the audience watching, like when I watch a show, there's something about certain athletes that just like it's the confidence that makes a huge difference. If they come out and own the stage, own their space, and they're not coming out and kind of like avoiding eye contact with the judges or just like I don't know, you can almost tell when someone is confident going out with what they're bringing or if they're kind of nervous or hesitant. And that really has an effect on your overall presentation when you first come out. So I don't know if you can really get out there, exude, even if you aren't confident, but if you can fake it so you make it and just go out there and own the stage, like that's your time on stage, like go own it. That makes a huge difference in the judges' eyes. Like they're going to be like, wow, like this person belongs here. Like this person knows that they belong here, that sort of thing. So that's kind of like the first impression, but routine round, like fitness, it's different in the fact that maybe you are a little bit weaker in the physique round. The routines round is worth 2/3. So if you have this unbelievable routine that kind of outshines everybody else, like in difficulty, in that wow factor or whatnot, it can really help bring you up in points to kind of, maybe you don't take the win if your physique's not great, but you could be maybe sitting and say like 6th out of 9th in the physique round, you could be bumped up to 3rd just with your routine alone. So that makes sense. So now if you're like Missy Trescott or Ariel Kadar and you've got both, like you've got this freaky, crazy physique that's at the top of the game and these crazy routines with insane difficulty, then you've got that like just complete wow factor in both. Like they're going to take that top spot. It's pretty obvious. But in like a pro show or like a smaller pro show, you can kind of get away with having a strong routine and maybe not as strong of a physique. Like it depends who's there. It depends on the judge. But yeah.
Okay. It's good to know. Cause like, my first introduction to fitness, I think was this year's Arnold Classic. Or no, actually, no, last year's Olympia, I watched it when Missy and Whitney battled it out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember watching that, and I was really surprised. I thought Missy was going to win it, and then when they had Whitney win, I was like, oh, okay. Like I obviously don't know what I'm looking for.
that was a tough one because going in, I honestly thought Missy was going to win, mainly because she just got off of a win from the Arnolds
Yep.
and the previous Olympia. So she won back-to-back Arnolds and the previous Olympia. So she was going off of 3 big wins leading into last year's O. And I thought she had a great routine. I think the one thing that differentiated them was Missy's physique was phenomenal. Do not get me wrong. But I think for her, I think she has been leaner and harder at her previous shows. Whereas Whitney always shows up with this just extreme conditioning. Like she's a vet, right? Like she's been doing this for so long. She knows how to peak her body like perfectly every time. Like she always shows up like on point. And Missy's physique was phenomenal too. I just think compared to like the previous Olympia and the Arnold, I don't know if her body was tired. Who knows? She does do a lot. Like she competes a lot. She mainly sticks to Arnold and Olympia. And then I know she did Legions last year as well, but she does a lot of guest posing as well. Like she goes and does her routine constantly. So who knows what it was, but again, it's 2 top athletes who are bringing crazy physiques and crazy routines, very different routine styles, but crazy entertaining routines. Like it's so hard to like pick who's the top place. Cause again, like the fitness is subjective. It depends on what you're looking for in the routine, what those judges that day find the most entertaining. Right. Because you only get like I mentioned in the past, you only have 4 skills that you need in your routine. The rest you're judged on like flexibility, strength, power, like kind of endurance, but it's very subjective. Like everyone's routines have different skills, different things that they incorporate. So for the judges, like I can't, like it's got to be tough to judge those, especially at that level when you're getting that close in competition, how to differentiate a winner. So yeah.
Austin has experience with judging. So have you judged any pro shows yet?
No, I got to get my national qualification so I can start doing national shows in an IFBB level. But
oh wow, okay.
NPC level, I've done a ton for years, but national level, it's difficult because the like USA's or the North Americans in Nevada, in the United States, they're run like 4 days in a row. You have to be so fast with the judging, and it's when it comes to like bodybuilding, physique, classic physique, men's physique, I'm good. Yeah. You could give me like bikini, wellness. It's like, man, there's so many bikini girls.
The bikini, I'd be lost. I have no idea what I'm looking at. All I see is glutes, and if the hair's not in the way, you see the delts a little bit, and I feel bad because like it's really hard to commentate on it.
It's definitely difficult because there's so many of them, and they all look good. You're like, I don't know where we're gonna pick the first, So I judged with Sandy Williamson a couple times, and she'll go over like, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, and then you might go with a different judge who wants different look too. So it's just apples and oranges, but I want to get on the IFBB level, and I just don't know if you can do that and still be competitive and be competing, because I don't know if that's a conflict of interest. So
that's a great question.
Wow.
Yeah, you could always go up to the CPA and try to work through their national level, because I don't know if it'd be easier or harder, but I don't know. I like Canada right now, so who knows? And I don't think they have 4-day shows. So
no, I don't think they do either. Are you in? I wanted to do Vancouver or like Toronto or something, but traveling, I hate traveling, trying to do a show sometimes, because peaking right, and then especially Canada, I don't know how long the flight is, but you have to get there at least 5 days in advance, set everything up. And but no, I wish I would have done the Vancouver Pro, because I was looking at the bodybuilders. It wasn't that many, to be honest. There was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, there was. I think. Yeah. It was a good show, but yeah, there was only like 4 on the scorecard originally, and then they added I think 3 or 4 more. So it was close.
I thought it was a good show though for what they had. They had some pretty good bodybuilders.
Yeah,
so I think that would have been a good pro day open debut for me. Like I don't know, I think I could have been up there with Antoine. And
Yep. And then I can't remember the guy. He won Toronto in 212 last year. He made his open debut at Vancouver. So he
okay.
placed fourth, I believe it was.
He looked good. To be
Yeah,
honest.
big and full. It just he's just a lot. He's quite a bit shorter than everyone, and
What
he
was his
just
height? Do you know
was.
how tall he is?
Gosh, he had to be like 4 or 5 inches shorter. Let me see
So
if I
like
can find it.
5'5", 5'6".
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I remember looking at
He
the
looked short.
pictures.
He looked pretty short for
He looked
the,
yeah.
but
He looked
Antoine's
big and
6
sharp
foot.
too.
Antoine's a big guy, though. He's
Oh,
like really tall.
He's
Not
big.
tall.
he looked tall. Yeah.
And Ian's like 5'10", I want to say. And he's like a little bit like maybe an inch taller than me. So I don't think I would have. But I think also too is like the 212 guy, his body just looks compact, stout compared to those guys. But he did look good. He looked pretty good.
He won. He got third. Hussein Kalaite.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, and then Jonas Jatris got fourth.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy too.
Yep.
Right? Yeah,
Yep. Jonas is big.
It's like we were talking earlier. It's kind of crazy because you got shorter guys now doing the open that are doing well, and then you have the taller guys too as well. So I don't think height really matters, to be honest. I think it's just how much muscle can you put on your frame and look good.
Yeah, I agree.
Unproportionate, you know.
Yeah, it's whoever can bring the best complete package.
I think Derek Lunsford, if he goes to open, he's going to do really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You think he's going to place? Well, let's not jump thoughts just yet. I wanted to show off Hassan real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely would like to hear your guys' thoughts on why am I having such a hard time pulling this up on how Derek would do in that top 10.
If he comes in like he's looking now with condition that he usually brings and he stays full, I think he'll easily be in the top 5. Easily.
Here we go. Yeah. So Hassan's over here on the right. And then Jonas Jatris is here. And then Seth Ingeman, I think is his name. He did Indy before this. And then came into this one top 5. I thought it was really good for him. I think he got 9th at Indy. But I was really surprised to see Antoine's legs look downsized. I don't know if it's just the posing or what, or maybe he brought up the upper body. But that was always the critique, was that his legs overpowered his upper body.
I think he looked more proportionate this show. But his legs are definitely, he might have been flat, to be honest, in his legs. Because his legs are huge, like mine. His side shots on his legs are crazy. I think his back's gotten a lot better. And the only thing I thought for him was his arms looked a little bit less fuller.
Yeah, well, he tore that right bicep. Yeah. So it's a little soft.
But I thought he held his own on a lot of the shots because he's so big, you know, like his statue already.
Yep.
That he wasn't getting overpowered by Ian, and Ian's huge.
Yeah.
So he definitely brought condition too, which I thought, you know, if you have that and with his frame, he definitely could have. I don't think he would have won it, but he came close.
He was 1 point off from winning it.
Really?
It was that close. I was very surprised.
And he's doing Chicago,
and he's doing Chicago today. Yep. And he let's see here. So it's I would say he's the favorite right next to Andrea Musi, Tonio Burton, Tim Budashim. You got Dorian Haywood in the mix.
Oh, Dorian's in there?
Dorian just hopped in. Yep. He announced it like 2 days ago. I actually got a sneak peek because he was on the Austrian Powers. It's another YouTube podcast.
With Compton?
Yeah, with Compton. Yeah, with Justin. Yeah. They were doing a reel in their gym at Gold's in Venice. And I got a winky face. They said, well, what about Dorian, winky face? And I was like,
Yeah.
So he's another one of those guys that he'll get in the top 5 always. he sometimes comes off a little bit conditioned and he tries to be fuller, or he'll usually go too flat. But he's definitely a top 5 guy in any pro show, open show.
Yeah, it's just finding that right mixture for him.
Yeah, Tonio will be definitely in the mix. He's got some crazy muscle with some shape too. I think he's just got to get bigger
to keep growing into the open. Yep.
He just jumped in last year, and then I don't think he had a full off season. He keeps, competing too this year. So I don't know. I think he needs to just shut it down and just grow, because if he doesn't make the Olympia, might as well just keep growing into the off season now. And then that Tim guy, he looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think he could win it, to be honest.
Booty Sheen, yeah, great conditioning.
Yeah, he's got some size to him too.
Yeah,
he's got good legs, good chest. And the Andre guy, he's definitely in the mix too. So that's like right there. I think that's your top 5 with Antoine.
Yep,
right there.
That's
in what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit later, honestly, because I keep looking at the schedule, and they just finished up women's masters. So wow. I'm kind of confused on the lineup, because the lineup, it should have been fitness should have started 3 minutes ago, right, and then women's bodybuilding, and then women's bikini. But the way I looked at it before is I thought it was going to be open. So I don't know. I must be looking at it wrong.
Yeah, Abby knows. Like, if you're waiting to go on stage for that long, it just you constantly are eating. You don't want to eat too much. You don't want to drink too much. You're just sitting backstage getting, your body's not fresh.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Even routine too, because we get to warm up at, like, I say, a certain time, like on the stage. Typically, like, we'll get to warm up like in between like prejudging and finals. And then if like final, like, we're lucky because like we start off the show, but like for finals, if like they have a ton of announcements, or if like it's delayed for some reason or pushed back, we all start getting cold backstage. And it's a whole mental factor that comes into play. Like, you have to be able to kind of like keep your like focus and like your mind clear of all those, I don't know, those thoughts that start to come in, like, okay, do I need to keep moving? Like, blah, blah, blah. So you're trying to figure out, what works best for you to kind of keep you focused and in the zone when you're predicted to go on at a time and then it's delayed.
I hate when the promoters or the expediters will be like, you guys are on in 10 minutes. And you're like, oh my God. So you start pumping up, doing all this stuff. And then you're like, oh, we got another hour, guys. Sorry. You're like, unbelievable. You're like, adrenaline goes down. Yeah.
It's like, you get going and then it's like a crash, and then you got to get yourself going again. Like later on, it's
the worst. And then
not ideal.
And then your meal, you're like, should I eat a meal? Should I not eat a meal? Should I eat a little bit? Or should I just stay tight and just keep
the timing thing?
Horrible. That's why I think the national shows are so hard too. Well, I mean, they're better now, but when I was doing them, it was like, we get 2 hours. Okay, you guys got 2 hours, and you're like, okay, you're on in 30 minutes. You're like, what? Didn't even get my tan yet. Like, I got to get blades and all this stuff. And, I hate that backstage on the fly stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the promoter's fault. Yeah.
No, and us as athletes, like, we like structure. Like, we're used to eating at like the same time. You know what I mean? And like our routine is always the same. So when you're like throwing a curveball like that, when you've been like mentally preparing, okay, this is what I'm gonna eat, this is when I'm on stage, blah blah blah. It's curveball, and you got to be able to like mentally like deal with that and not let it affect you.
Yeah, I remember I was doing Texas Pro, and I don't know what I think our last meal or some kind of pump up meal, and we had experimented with it, and I tried a tiny bit of insulin, and I took a tiny bit, and I was getting tan, and then I started sweating, and I was like, oh my God, I got to sit down. So the pro tan girl's like, oh my God, you're going hypo. So they were like, get him some like Krispy Kreme or some kind of sugary candy. And I was like, no, I can't eat it because I'm not going to spill over. And then somebody was like, just eat it. Just trust me, you're gonna pass out. So I mean, I remember it was like 15 minutes before the stage, and they were like, I was like, I don't know if I can do a routine right now because I was like, I'm a little wobbly, and I was like, they were like, yeah, you're gonna have it hit because the insulin hits twice. It'll hit a spike first, and then you'll feel it again. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do my routine. And I'm like on stage, like eating a rice cake with jelly, and I'm like, I can't even like feel my muscles because I'm still like adrenaline from all this going on.
Yeah.
And finally, I was just like, all right. And I went out on stage, and I was like, I saw my routine on muscular development. I was like, I don't even know how I did that. And I was like, I honestly, I was like, I knew I lost the show because I was like, if I would have just battled better for the overall comparisons and stuff, I would have been into the posing more. But I was just like, I don't care. Just give me second place. Like, I don't care. I don't want to pass out on stage. I'd rather just get this over with. I'm gonna go eat after, guys.
Wow.
So it was a learning experience because I usually don't do any kind of stuff like that. But it was just, I was like, you know what? Let me just try it. And then definitely not doing that again in the future because my body is so sensitive to anything like that.
Crazy. So. But like you said, like it's a learning experience. Like you did it, you learned, and now you know what works and what doesn't, and move on from it.
I think when you don't try it out and you don't know what to expect, and you try it right then and there, and then you're like, oh my God, what did I do? You start freaking out even more because you're like, I don't even know what's going on. Plus, like, just the overall adrenaline of being at a show in general. It's just
for sure.
You get those butterfly feelings, like waiting, and then like, okay, we're going on. Okay, so it's just I love doing shows. It's such a high, like getting on stage and the lights, and you're like, oh man, I can't wait to see the photos, and everybody's like telling you look great. It's just that the whole feeling is, I think, why we all do it, to be honest. Like, we don't really, you do first, second, third, but just getting on stage, it's like adrenaline rush.
For sure. Especially because it's so meaningful because like you put in so much like time and work leading up to it. It's like that final like hot, like it's like euphoric. And then just being at the show in general, like you're surrounded by so many people who are like-minded. I don't know. For me, I just love the atmosphere. You get there and it's like everyone's feeding off of like that crazy, like high energy. And it's just like the best feeling. It really is.
I think that's why you want to do it again too, right, Josh? Because you get that bug, like that feeling, and you're like, man, I can't wait to do it again. Even if it's a bad experience, you still want to go back.
It's also hard when you run a podcast format, a platform with some of the best pros in the world, and then you haven't competed in 2 years. Even if it's like, so this will be my first year doing an NPC show. So I'm not switching from natural, but I'm going from natural organizations to NPC. Yeah, so like it's a big move for me. It's been a couple of years. I feel like I'm ready. My mind's in the right spot. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna make it into some really cool content with vlogs and stuff. Get a camera person and everything. It's gonna be fun. So lots of options. But yeah, it's just getting back on stage. Just I think like just the romance of it and getting to that lean point again where I can make like some super cool content. It's just all of it's good. All of it is a plus. It's a pro. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to get back on stage, practice my posing, see what I've been able to do in the last 2 years. So,
do you do all your content yourself, or do you have somebody that does it?
Yeah. So everything I do myself. The recording, the scripting, the editing.
Who films it? Who films you though?
I film me.
Like do you do vlogs and stuff?
Yeah, from tripods and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just filming everything that's leading into the show.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. And then I actually met a camera guy at my gym. I'm going to hire him to do like the cool stuff, like the gym footage, I don't know, like what I buy at a grocery store, like, that kind of content. Yeah. So we'll make like a whole thing out of it on my personal channel. And then, hopefully build that into something because
that's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I feel like if you have a good cameraman and you have somebody that can do content, then you're golden. You can
Yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah, I've
Even if
learned a lot. I've learned a lot on the content side, and then I work with Muscle Icon as well. They've helped me a little bit with the marketing side and learning how to make the channel better. So we're still in like the baby steps right now, but we're hoping to grow the channel to like that Douglas Fouché, Breonna Ainsley level, because like they work with all those guys and they've done a
nice.
really good job. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm super confused on what's going on with this. I think the NPC one is running long because they had women's masters, which isn't even on the list for today that I'm seeing, and then they have the NPC one because I saw them giving out a bunch of pro cards. But yeah, fitness was supposed to start 15, almost 20 minutes ago.
Oh wow.
So I'm kind of confused.
It's weird.
But I guess what we could do is, yeah, it's live. I am live. We can recap the 212 that happened yesterday. Austin can give us his professional insight on that. Let me pull up my fancy pantsy pictures. So
Yeah, I didn't watch it live, but I did see the results, and I saw, from what I saw, most of the guys on the top 6.
yeah, I was lucky. I got to watch a little bit of it live at work, but yeah, I was at work, so I had it on my tablet and I was running around doing stuff and trying to watch it. So Derek or Dietrich Bo Lewis, Flex, he won the show, so he's the one second to the left, and then Peter Costella placing second all the way on the left with the red posing trunks, and then not a surprise, but I thought it was a good call. Fabricio de Souza Moreira, the guy in the black trunks, second to the right, got third, and then our boy Derek Oslin, all the way on the right, placing fourth.
You got 4th?
He got fourth.
Oh, I thought he got 3rd.
Yep. Huh. Yeah, so he got beat out by Fabricio next to him.
Oh wow. Starting from Bo, he brought the best condition to the stage I thought he ever looked.
Mhm.
His legs looked separated. His back shots, his back separation was insane. He had some crazy condition all around. I thought that was his best look. I competed with him 2 years now, and I think this is his best look yet. He looks really good from head to toe. I didn't see really any flaws other than he's a little top heavy compared to his legs. His legs, the quad sweeps.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the freaky quad sweeps, but his side shots from the legs, his hamstrings were good. He overall, his package, I think he stood out more than any of these guys in the lineup, to be honest. Good win for him. He's definitely a hard worker, and I think he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's not a young guy, so I definitely give hats off to him for, putting through a prep at that age. He's definitely still got it for his age. So,
Yep. Yeah, the second show for him this year.
Right. I think he's a top, I don't know in the Olympia because there's so many good 212 guys I saw so far. He's going to be in the top 10 for sure.
Yep.
I think the guys in the Olympia are a lot younger and they just have some freaky legs that might overpower him. And but he's definitely a top 10, top 8 for sure in the Olympia with that condition. He brings it.
Yeah, in 2020, I think him, Derek Oslin on the right, and Jason Lowe all placed like 7th, 8th, 9th, I think is how it was. So they're all top 10 guys in 2020.
Yeah, that was a bad year for me because I got second to Keon, and then I beat Jason, and then he went to the Olympia because I think he had qualification points. So
yeah, he got points.
man, I could have been right up in that top 6, top 5, but Old news.
Yep.
Number 2 is Peter Casella.
Yep.
He looks like he was taller than some of these other guys. He had a lot of freaky mass up top.
Yeah.
His most muscular shots, he had full chest, full shoulders. He had really good condition. I think his legs didn't match his upper body as much.
Yeah. That's the big critique. Yep.
Right. I would say he needs more quad sweeps. He's a bigger guy, so I think he needs to put on a little bit more size in his lower body to match that upper body mass. The overall condition was great. He had a good package. I thought he brought. Condition was insane. So I just think compared to Bo is more proportionate from head to toe, and a little bit harder than him in some shots. But that guy was definitely a freak factor too.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think? Anything on him?
No, I thought it was a pretty solid win for Bo. I was a little sad to see Derek place so low as in fourth. I thought this was one of his better packages this year compared to New York. So him placing fourth at New York and then fourth here again. This is his third fourth in a row. Last year's New York, he also placed fourth. So he's being consistent, but the packages are very different.
He started working with Dave Kalick, and it seems like they were doing really well leading into the prep, into the show.
He looks so sharp, like a week out. And I still think he looks really good here. I'm just wondering, like, maybe just a little bit sharper in the legs, but I'm not sure what he needed to do to beat out Fabricio, because Fabricio is massive. He's a very big guy. But and no slights to him, but I feel like the midsection maybe on the side shot is a little too much, and he looks a little soft in the chest. And that I don't think he's flexing either, but
it looks like Fabricio was the shorter out of the bunch, and he brought muscle. Just the shape wasn't as there as the other guys, and some of the shots you could see the shape wasn't as good as the other guys were. Not saying the other guys were a lot taller, it just seems like he's shorter. But he was definitely, I noticed he had great condition. His glutes were in, his back looks good there. I mean, what more can he do as far as putting on more size, I guess, and then keeping that same condition? I think guys with just a bigger body and a better shape are going to tend to do a little bit better. But if he can keep bringing that muscle quality, he can move up in the ranks too. But good job for him getting top 3 in this lineup. It's not a bad lineup.
No, solid placing for him. Yeah.
Right. Derek is he's like another wild card. Like he should be doing better at these shows. I've been competing with him for 3 years now. And he beat me my first rookie debut at Legion Pro in 2018. And he was second to Sean Clarita. So, he should be nailing these shows by now. Like, he should be winning these shows, to be honest. Yeah. He has the freak factor with the back. The legs are separated huge, quad sweeps. He has all the muscle in the world to win these shows. Bo beat him before in New York Pro, or Tampa Pro, 2020. So I mean, if his condition was a little bit more spot on, I think he would kill these guys. Yeah, I think something with his conditioning, they might have got tired from New York Pro, but I noticed he has been tighter in the past in the past years, but it's it's like I want Derek to like nail it so he can just get that Olympia qualification. But I don't know if that's going to be in the works, because the next show is Tampa, which you're going to have some heavy hitters there.
Well, he's local, so he's got to go to that one.
My boy Keon's doing it. Jordan Janovich, Ricky Moulton out of Canada is doing it.
Oh yeah, Ricky. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's Keith Carrick out of New York. Justin Miller's training him out of Bev Francis gym. He's doing it. So I mean, for him to get a top 5 finish there, he's going to have to bring it even again, which
Yep.
is in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. He's going to have to hold the condition, nail it again. So I don't know if that's another show he's going to really nail it. And then Texas Pros after that. So those are the last two 12 shows in the USA. So I don't know if he's going to be in the Olympia this year. Trying to nail that Tampa show. You got Keon in the mix there too.
Yes.
He's a heavy hitter too.
And then I think Kareth Baggio, he's doing Tampa as well.
Kareth looks insane.
He's a
monster.
Yeah, and he's the defending champ, so it's
yeah, he's only 5'4" and he's muscle upon muscle.
He's 5'4", really.
Yeah, he won it last year.
I didn't realize he was so short. He's so big.
So big. He just looks Ronnie Coleman muscle. So I don't know with Derek doing that show if he can overpower those guys, but you never know. But overall, the 212 lineup was decent. I do think they've had better lineups in the past, but did I pause?
No, you're good. I was looking at the live stream. They just skipped women's fitness and went right to women's open bodybuilding.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just really confused. I'm really confused in this live stream.
But I thought the 212 was a good lineup. I've seen better lineups in the past for Chicago Pro, but I think there's so many shows now with the 212 and stuff that guys, you're not getting the amount of quality in one show because they're all spreading out throughout the year.
Yep.
So, but usually the Tampa, Chicago, and now it seems like the Texas Pro are the shows to do the shows. The New York Pro to me was actually a pretty good show, but I've seen it in the past being the show to do.
Yeah, it used to be the show. You know, you had like you had Guy Cisternito in there battling at the 212. Yes. You had Cedric battling there. You had Shunk. Yep. You've had Big Ramy in that mix. There's been so many massive names for the New York Pro. Me coming into bodybuilding as a fan, New York was the one you wanted to watch. And now it seems that you want to watch Tampa, you want to watch Chicago, Texas now.
Those are like the July shows usually, and then you have your Vancouver, Toronto in the July area as well.
Yep.
And then Tampa's usually the cutoff to the last show to the Olympia. So whoever wins the Tampa is like, or whoever qualifies then you already know the list. But now you have, Spain. Yeah.
There's like 7 men's open in Europe. Yeah, I think there's like 7 in Europe, and then there's Texas, Tampa, Chicago today. I thought I saw that there was an Atlantic show that had men's open, and then I think Ronnie Coleman said he was having a show as well. So yeah, I'm not there's I think some shows kind of fell through, but.
Muscle Contest also has Brazil. You have the Brazilian.
They have another one. Yeah, there was a couple in Brazil this year. Yep. Yeah,
there was like 2, and then you had the Arnold Classic Brazil. So there's so many international countries coming into play with the competitors that it's like insane quality. So you're getting guys from Brazil, Egypt, India, like Spain, Mexico. It's
a lot of Middle Eastern shows this year.
Yeah, I mean, you got that guy Mike Crizzo coming from Germany, like to the NPC and doing Portugal Pro, and then you got Prague, so Italy. Yep. I mean, there's just so many pro shows now. It's the Olympia now is I feel like you can win a pro show. It's not as hard as it used to be.
No.
But if you go to the Olympia, you're gonna have to battle these guys that are the best of the best in their country. Yep. So the Olympia is like, if you can score well in the Olympia, then we really know how good you are as a competitor. Because you might pick a lineup that's not as hard in the pro show and look the best, but come to the Olympia, you're going to go against guys like Nick Walker, Hunter Labrada, James Hollingshead, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the conversation I've heard a few times now. Abby, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one as well. We talked about when Paul was on, Paul is on, he was on, and we were talking about the tier system within the NPC. Now the IFBB does have a tier system for their shows, you know, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3,
Right.
and that determines, I mean, you guys know better than me, these shows determine how many points you get. If not, or it's the points, and then if you win it, it's an Olympia qualification regardless.
Right.
The conversation is, as I collect my train of thought, what do we do to I don't know, I lost my train of thought, but with the different tier systems, like if we were to somehow incorporate maybe like not really getting rid of shows, but maybe changing the points on shows.
Yeah.
Because you got regional shows, you have like the Korean shows, you have it's just like different levels of competitiveness. And then like you said, like some people will come in, and you know, no disrespect to the guys that won those South Korea shows last year, but those guys were all the way at the bottom. They were like all of them were within like that the 16th place. I'm just wondering, like, how do we, you know, continue to let bodybuilding grow in all divisions, but then also, you know, maybe not oversaturate the Olympia. Like, do we? Oh, here's another thought I had. Sorry, my brain finally turned back on. My breakfast is sitting right here. I haven't eaten it yet, so I'm probably going glycemic or hypo with my fruit smoothie. What if we were to incorporate some sort of like, so you have the tier systems, and that determines your Olympia qualifications and your points, but then we go straight to the Super Bowl. There's no playoffs. So what if we had a way to have, you know, kind of like how the Arnold is like the second biggest show? What if we had something like the Rock's show, where we have like the whatever he called it, the fitness thing,
FitCon or something.
FitCon. What if we had something, a big fitness conference that is like the semifinals, and then out of that, you know, if you don't make it within the top 16, you don't go to the Olympia.
I think that'd be awesome if they did the FitCon like they were gonna do. A lot of guys weren't gonna do the Olympia; they were gonna do the FitCon.
Right.
And then you got guys that want to do the Olympia. I agree, because there's just too many pro shows, and there's too many guys now that they're getting Olympia qualifications and doing shows not a lot of guys are doing. Not saying that they're not good; they're just winning these shows. It just makes more sad. It's just saturated all over in every area. But if they had like a pre-Olympia kind of like feel, where we had a show that was top of the top US guys, and then we could, you know, disseminate who's the best out of those guys. So the Olympia, we're only getting cream of the crop. But that's a whole international, and then IFBB would have to do a whole, you know, breakdown of the shows in the USA. And you're talking a lot of promoters, you know, upset about that, and the guys doing that. So it's going to be interesting to see all the guys in Olympia this year, because everybody's from, you know, a different country or different regional area. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things where there has to be a lot of meetings and people talking about strategically organizing these events, and that's a lot of money and promoters involved. So
yeah, people are going to get their feelings hurt.
I think if the guys that are that good are going to win, they're going to win regardless. Whether, you know, whoever's in the show, like Nick Walker's he's definitely going to be up there. All these guys are going to win if they're good. And we all know that. But, you know, with all the shows now, you know, people are getting, you know, and I thought about this earlier too. It's not bad recognition too, because now everybody feels like they're winning, to be honest, and the competitors feel good about that. You know, and then the fans don't like it because they're saying, oh, well, that guy didn't even really win. But it gives everybody an opportunity to win a show and to feel like they're winning it. But when you get to the Olympia level, that's cream of the crop. You know, we all know if you're not even close, you're going to be the third call out. Not even, you know, there's so many guys in the first, second call out that are phenomenal. So you make those call outs, you definitely contender. So it's just hard to decipher, you know, with too many shows and too many competitors. And it's just like, I know a lot of guys said it's watered down, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anybody seems like now can make the Olympia or something, but I think the fans see that and the competitors know too.
Yeah.
Who's really bringing or who's a threat and who's not a threat and stuff like that. So, but to the people that are newer to the sport, they don't really know the difference. So,
Yes.
interesting topic, and let's see what they do this year. To be honest.
Well, I mean, Abby, I'd like to hear your thoughts here. I was trying to pull it up on the computer, but like this is all just classic physique that people have been qualified, not point, and then points starts here. So with this many people, it's over 30 at this point. With that many people qualified for the Olympia, like would some sort of like semifinals, like national level event where you can, filter out top 16 that are going to go to the O, like, would it kind of like bring back like that legacy piece of like when you say you're Olympia qualified, like, is that going to make it mean more, or is it going to just be more, is it going to be bad for the sport? It's going to be better, worse?
I could see it being a big positive because, yeah, for the athletes who do, I mean, it would suck for those who don't make this top 16 and don't get to the Olympia, but the top 16 who do, you're the best of the best. And now the competition is going to be more exciting too to watch because you're watching the best of the best. It's not all these other ones that you kind of have to weed out and find out who's first, second call, it's whatever. Mm-hmm. The other thing is sometimes, like, I mean, I've always loved watching Olympia. Like, I'd watch it, but it is a long show. Yeah. And because there are so many athletes, and especially when you get into like classic physique, like that category, when they have, I know not all of them, do all of them do their full routines in final? Yeah, because at that level, like I know amateur, like they'll just do top 5 at finals just to speed things up. But when you then get
all 40 of them or something, yeah.
That's the thing. And when there's so many, like, especially if you're not a huge, like if you're a fan, you love it. You love to watch it. Yes, it gets repetitive, but like, if somebody say like you're just trying to watch a family member or a friend, now you're sitting through watching over and over again because you don't want to miss your friend go on, but like they're watching so many, and I don't know, it gets very stretched out and long, whereas it could be more exciting and thrilling if it is the top whatever, to have a little bit of a shorter show. But I don't know, that's my thought. But I think that'd be interesting and it depends on the category too, because yeah, categories like classic and bikini, they have so many shows a year where they have so many athletes qualifying. Whereas like, I know fitness is we don't have as many shows. So I don't think we usually ever have more than like say 16 at the Olympia. Maybe this year is going to be probably the biggest just because there's a few shows that carried over from last year, just the way that they were positioned due to COVID. Because I know like points from the last 2 Toronto Pro.
Right. Yep.
So the winner from the Toronto Pro 2021 and 2022 are going to the 22 Olympia. So there's going to be a few extra athletes at this year's show. So again, more saturated, but I don't know. I think that'd be an interesting idea. I definitely think it should be for amateurs. 100%.
100%. Bring back the tier system. And in Austin, you're an NPC coach or a judge and promoter, so this would be like really applicable for you. Love to hear your thoughts. Bringing back that tier system, like Paul was talking about, how they do it in the CPA or used to, where you have like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, maybe tier 4 shows, where it's not just you place top 3, top 5, and then you're qualified for national level show.
Yeah,
like bringing something to like not like really like sift out the crops, but just bring the people that are going to be able to prove themselves to be ready for competing for a pro card, instead of just I watched the Arnold Amateur this year, and there were some guys that doesn't even look like they work out. They were like 300 pounds, just super overweight, and they're just on stage at one of the biggest shows in the world. There's got to be some sort of thing.
You almost just need like stepping stones. So yeah. Because especially past year, the shows have been smaller, like regional amateur shows. There's some, I've like helped out at a show where there are only 3 people in the class. So all 3 automatically qualify to nationals. And I think it's awesome, but I think having that stepping stone in between before nationals, like whether you do a provincials, then nationals, something like that, would be beneficial only because I've seen so many athletes get so discouraged because they'll win an overall at a regional show where there's not a lot of people. And they're like, yes, it's a huge confidence boost and it's an awesome accomplishment. But then they go to this national stage expecting to get their pro card right away or do phenomenal, and then they realize, holy crap, this caliber is way, way different compared to the regional show they did. So like just having that like little stepping stone in between where it's a little bit more challenging competition, but maybe not the best from the whole country, maybe just the best from like a region or the province, then they can kind of get their feet wet with a little bit more difficult competition or that caliber. And then once you've excelled from that level and you're now winning the overalls there, you're now ready for nationals and you can go in more confident and you're not going to get so discouraged. And I think that's why maybe it could be a reason why numbers are down. Like maybe people, I mean, it's not a sport for everybody. Sometimes like some people just go in to do like check off a bucket list, like it's a one and done. But some people, like I feel like they do really well at like a small show and then they go to these big shows and they keep doing poorly because they haven't had the time to grow to that level. But now that they've already qualified to that level, they don't want to come back down. So they keep doing these bigger shows, but they're not ready yet. So it's discouraging. And like, if you're an athlete and you're competitive, you like to win. So if you're constantly discouraged, I'm sure that there are people who just eventually like give up, which is sad, but they shouldn't, because it's a sport that you really need to put time into.
Yeah.
Like
You do, yeah. It's a passion, it's a lifestyle. I mean, Austin, on the judging and promoting side, how do you think that would play out to bring in like Abby said about the provincials and like having tier systems within, I would say NPC minimum, but I think it would really add to this conversation about having tier systems within well, we do have tier systems, but some sort of like middle ground before the Olympia for the Olympia. What do you say? What do you say about bringing back tier systems for the NPC?
I thought they did do the tier systems through the IFBBs, right?
Well, we do in the IFBB, yeah. But I'm saying like
Okay.
within the NPCs, like bringing something to help, not discourage those people that are winning these, underwhelming regional shows, coming in beating 2 people, and then they go into regionals and then they place dead last, and then they just quit bodybuilding. Like
The hardest thing with the promoting on the NPC side is that there's so many NPCs. Like depending on what state you live in, we have 14 shows in Nevada that are NPC level, and then California has like probably 30 or 40, 50.
you need to let me know, man, because I live in Pleasanton, California, right outside Camp Parks. I had 2 NPC shows in my hometown that I live in. I didn't even know about.
Yeah, I mean,
like imagine that. Like I'm a commentator and I don't even know what the show's here. It was like 5 miles away from me.
Right. There's no way that they can do that because the tier system, like the promoters would have to coordinate with the IFBB and the NPC office with coordinating with what show they're. I know it sounds good, but there's so many shows that like I don't even know how they would even structure a tier system because they're just allowing every competitor to do a regional show to get to national qualification. I know what their mindset is. They want them to get nationally qualified, go to the nationals, and then see how they do there. And then from there, they have to go against all the people that won the regional shows as well. So it's just like one big pot of people doing shows, and then they go to the next level and then get weeded out. They're not going to make pro level. I just like to see that at the pro level, or if you get your pro card, like Masters Nationals, some of the classes I didn't see my tires. There was only 1 or 2 guys in like men's physique, and they're 45 plus. A lot of these guys are getting pro cards with nobody in their class. Yep. So I'd like to see more competitors in those shows, so you got more competition to get your pro card, whether just 1 or 2 guys. I don't know. It's just I think the structuring system, if we can have it more structured, so we have more competitors in the national shows, so you have more competitiveness to get a pro card, and then the regional shows, we are allowing the people that are really qualified to do a national show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you're getting guys that are winning regional shows that are, you know, being well, they're not supposed to go to nationals or go to USA's or whatever, and they're allowing them to compete because there was nobody in their class, and they win that class or get second, and now they go to the USA's and they get last place, and they're wondering what happened. You know what I mean? So there's got to be some kind of way that we can get them to the level that they can compete in a national show and then go from there. Because I think that would allow people to not just do a national show to do it, but to be competitive and wait. You know, it's better to get the people that are going to win than to just keep putting all these people in the shows just to compete, not to win. You know, so I don't know. That's you definitely want to maybe call or like get an athlete's rep or somebody, like, who knows? There's just so many factors that go into that. Trying to
We can talk about athletes rep. I don't mind. I like that one.
but I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. That's something that they need to structure that.
That's something that the athlete reps, in my opinion, that's what the athlete reps need to talk about on a board, and then present that to the Olympia. Be like, hey, this is what we're thinking. Also, I think that there should be some sort of like promoters board. I don't know if you guys have something like that, Austin. Like,
we have the promoters meetings in the States, and then we have one in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But like, I don't even know the promoters in California. I don't know, or some of the states like Kansas City. I don't know promoters in Missouri. And, you know, we should have like an email where we can all have each other's shows listed and coordinate with our NPC entries in every state. Okay, this is how many competitors we have, and these are all the states. Let's figure out a plan. Get them all to spread out throughout the shows. Throughout the year.
So like if you register within a state, like if you have 400 people that register in Nevada, you can coordinate with your other promoters within Nevada and be like, okay, so if, you know, let's say 100 go to mine, 100 go to yours, which is still pretty low numbers. Figuring out a way to cover all the shows, and then like make it worth the athletes going to those shows. So it's not like you said, just 2 or 3 people.
I think if we can do that and get more people to do spread out throughout the shows, instead of just do one show, then another show has half the amount of competitors and they win. Now they're going to nationals, and they really didn't go against anybody at that other show. So if we can get on a local level, state level, and then across the United States, go and try to get maybe more national shows, maybe do another national show spread out throughout the year, so we have, you know, more spread out through the playing field. I think that might be better. I don't know, but that's something that they'd have to come up with and talk about and figure out if that's worth it. Because I know since I've been competing, there's only been North Americans, USA's, and nationals. Those are the 3 shows.
Those are the 3?
You know, those are the 3 shows you could go pro at if you're not at a master's level. And then they have the amateur Olympia now, where you can get a pro card. And then they got all these other shows across the United States or international. Like Canada, they have a pro-am show where you can turn pro. And you can turn pro.
You can turn pro at the Arnold's, right?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
And you can turn pro at the junior Nats.
Yeah, you can. I think, I don't know how they structure it, but some divisions get their pro cards. Yes.
Yeah, that I think it's really interesting. Like I never thought. Oh, there he goes. I always thought juniors was like you couldn't turn pro there. Like you do the junior nationals, and then once you win that, then you're like, okay, I'm ready to turn pro, and then you go to either USA's or nationals.
Oh,
that's what I thought it was, but I'm still learning. I haven't gone through the process yet.
Yeah, there are a lot of opportunities to turn pro now, whereas back in the day, like I know for Canada at least, it was one show a year. So Canadians had one opportunity every year. And it was when we had the tier system where you had, I forget how it was, but my coach went through it. There was different levels. And then you got to provincials, and then you had to win provincials to get to nationals. And then nationals, you had to get the overall to get the pro card, which only happened once a year. So it was a
Mm.
lot more difficult to turn pro. There was less opportunity. Whereas now, like athletes, they can do 3 or 4 shows in a year and keep trying to turn pro if they choose to, if they want to stay lean and keep going if they're
Yeah.
close. Like the
Yeah.
second place person who just misses the overall at a show can just hop into the next one because they're already there and they know that they're close to it. So instead of waiting a whole year,
Mhm.
a little bit different. But yeah.
I do wonder. I do wonder what we can do as fans, and you as an athlete, to make change. I feel like it just keeps coming back to this athlete rep thing that everyone's been talking about, and we've been talking about it too. Uh, Bring an athlete rep for each division on the pro side at least, and then have that one person. You know, maybe you have Chris Bumstead. You have, I don't know how good of an athlete rep Big Ramy would be because he really hasn't done much as the Mr. Olympia in terms of promotion. And no slight to him. I'm just saying. I'm wondering how if that would be the way of doing it, or if you do all of the Olympia champions or the Olympia qualified competitors, they vote at the Olympia for what division each person has for a rep. Maybe they vote, like the best of the best vote for who represents them.
So many things to consider. But it'd be a cool idea for sure. That way you have somebody that you know you can reach out to if you have any issues or any concerns or any recommendations, that sort of thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just try to improve the sport as a whole, because that's all we want to do anyways.
That's all we want to do, literally. Like that's most of this conversation is just like how can we make bodybuilding better. Before Austin disappeared, he was talking about how he didn't even know what the competitors or the promoters are in Kansas City or the ones in California, and that made me think like, what if like maybe it's something I need to do myself, but have a platform that just promotes shows. Like if you had an Instagram page where all promoters could just send in their flyers and
Yeah.
then they type up the marketing, and then you just have one page that promotes all NPC shows.
Yeah.
Because you have muscle contest and they promote muscle contest, and you have what's it Spectrum, muscle spectrum or something.
Okay.
They do a lot of shows in California. They only really promote their shows. So I'm wondering, like, if you want to do an NPC show, you hop onto NPC contests on Instagram, and it has every single NPC show posted.
Yeah. That would be just so that you're aware of what's going on constantly. Because I feel like they do a pretty good job with the IFBB shows, but there's also a lot less compared to NPC PPA shows, because there's shows happening.
There's like 10 shows every weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Happening all over every single weekend. So just to give recognition to them, and just so athletes are aware too, because they might, like you said, there might be a show in their state that they don't even know about that would be a lot more convenient for them. And maybe they would do that show on top of others, or compete more if they knew that there was, I don't know, more shows in proximity. But I know if you're researching, you'll probably find it, but just to have that easy access, or just so it's in your face, so you know, like.
Yeah. Well, because you have NPC News Online, and I mean they're pretty much hand in hand with the corporate IFBB. So like I'm pretty sure they're meshed pretty well. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They post all the NPC shows in the posters, and
oh, that's great.
I don't think they post the lineups because I don't think anyone really knows that until a couple of days out. But they post all that on their website, but it doesn't transition to their page.
To social media.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So I'm wondering, like, even if I.
So I was gonna say most people don't check websites
unless you're me and like Bodybuilding News Network or maybe Fuad. Like, there's only a few, like maybe 20, 30 people in the world that go on that website just to check dates on shows.
Because people want things like quick. So social media, like people are always on social media. So if it's right there,
scroll.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
oh, okay, these are the 10 shows this weekend. Oh, cool. There's a show in Ireland. Huh. Didn't know about that.
Quick, people nowadays want things fast and quick, easy access. They don't want to have to go type on their website. Like everyone's always on social media. So they pop up, open their social media. And like you said, they scroll, it pops up. There you go. There's your information. Didn't even have to search for it. It just pops up. So interesting. Very cool. But yeah, I think we did miss fitness because I did see some posts that the girls already did go.
I mean, I'm watching it right now. Like, that's what I don't understand. Is like, I didn't see them come up. And then now bikini's on. It's like, I was watching fitness. So
Weird. And it's the right like live.
yeah, here's men's classic physique, NPC, NPC.
Oh,
And then this is the intermission for like an hour. I mean, I'm going back now through the timestamps to see if we did miss it.
Wings of Strength posted, I think, call out. So let me see.
And then here's Bob talking about it. Here's Women's Masters.
Okay, first call outs. Who do we have? We have Michelle. We've got Danielle, Kong, and Sarah. Those were first call outs, those 4 girls. They all look awesome.
Okay.
It's on Wings of Strength Instagram.
Yeah. I just don't understand how I could have missed it. Like when I have the live stream on my other monitor.
Oh, weird.
I'm watching it the whole time. Like, that's why I'm telling you, like, oh, they switched it and they're going to women's bodybuilding.
Interesting.
Oh, this is women's fitness. Oh, maybe I mistook women's fitness for a different division then. But I didn't see them do their routines.
Routines won't be till tonight.
Oh,
so
that's
that's why. So they just did their posing this morning.
Yep.
But yeah, the first call outs look awesome. Michelle's impressive too because she just actually got her pro card at the Arnold Classic Amateur UK. So the UK Arnold Classic Amateur. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, so this is fitness. So I was watching it. I just didn't know I was watching it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they look good. I don't see. Yeah, just 9 of them.
Yep.
So they brought them all out at first. Wow. And then they did call outs after. Yeah, so Michelle, she is 3rd from the right. And she got her pro card at the UK Arnold Amateur in 2021. She competed the day after, won the Arnold UK Pro Show, and qualified to the O for this year. So she's already Olympia qualified. So that's very exciting for her.
The number 87 looked really sharp.
I'll have to. Who is 87? Actually, I can look. Oh, that's Sarah.
That's Sarah?
Sarah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she looks phenomenal. So we'll see who. I think it's Danielle who comes out first. Yeah, so that's Danielle. She won the Chicago Pro. Oh, that's Heather. That's her pro debut. No, you're fine.
Let me get back to. Here we go.
Danielle, she won the Chicago Pro, I think, in 2018. So she's an Olympian. She's been to the Olympia. The girl after her, Heather, it's actually her pro debut.
Wow.
So I'm really excited for her. She's a firecracker on stage, so it'll be awesome to see her routine. But Danielle has really good routines too, like very good difficulty. So yeah, the routine round should be fun.
It's gonna be impossible to skip through without actually skipping over people.
Oh yeah, no worries. You don't have. Yeah, if you want to, you can. But she made first call outs, Danielle.
Okay.
And then this is Heather, so it's her pro debut.
Very nice.
I think she got her pro card in 2020 at Universe, I believe.
Okay.
So this is her first time on stage. So yeah, so it's been about a 2-year break for her.
Okay.
And she's improved her skills a lot as well. So it'll be awesome to see what she brings in the routine round. She's usually very fast paced, very good endurance.
Okay. And this one you said was
Michelle, I'm pretty sure.
Gales or
No,
Mensa?
the other one.
Okay. Fredua Mensa.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's got some muscle on her.
she's got some size.
Yeah,
She looks good.
she could do what, figure?
Definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
She's got good shape too. Good pop to the muscle. Crazy back.
Mm. Now, is there a point in fitness where you're too big, or is there like usually people don't hit that line? Because she looks well built.
Yes. I feel like honestly all divisions are getting bigger and more extreme.
Mhm.
The only thing you have to think about with fitness is the more mass you're putting on, the more size you have. You got to be able to still do these hard skills, flip your body, hold your body weight up. So it's finding that fine line where you can put on that size and mass and still be able to execute the skills well.
Mhm.
This is also Michelle. She I don't remember when she turned pro, but I've seen her at so many pro shows that I've watched. Like she's competed quite a bit over the last 2 or 3 years. Definitely starting to come up the ranks. She like her physique, she's put on some good size since the last time I saw her, which is awesome. Probably one of the most powerful competitors I've seen. Like if you watch her routine, she gets some insane height on some of her skills,
Oh
like
wow.
crazy height. So it'd be awesome to see her routine. But I know she's cracked top 5 a few times. I think she's cracked top 3 at pro shows.
Wow.
So I'm sure she's itching to get up there as well. And this is Karina. I love Karina. I've competed with her the last 2 Toronto pro shows now.
Okay.
So
She looks so happy.
she loves this sport so much, and like you can tell she's just one of those people where she just glows and she's just so pleasant to be around. Like she just hypes you up and just honestly just the most amazing person. And she's improved so much. She always shows up with good conditioning. Like she always brings the physique, but her routines have improved. Like I remember telling her, so we competed in December together at the 2021 Toronto Pro, and she was phenomenal. And then just in June, so a couple months later, the difficulty she brought to the routine and just the improvements in speed was just amazing. So I'm excited to see her routine again here.
Mm.
And then this is Sarah.
This is Sarah. Yeah, she looks crazy.
She looks really good.
Wow, look at the delts on her. Yeah,
I
she
think
looks really sharp.
Yeah, I think this is the best physique I've seen from her, honestly.
Wow.
The lines in the quads, she looks, yeah, like you said, very sharp. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
really full glutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
great structure in the back.
And look at those calves.
She's got like that Dana Lynn Bailey almost look going.
Yeah.
Same dark hair, like
Yeah.
really good. Wow.
Love her suit too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, great color. Oh, the polka dot. I loved this suit. It's so nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
Tess Michaela, I think.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Tess.
Okay.
So I don't know if I just haven't seen her or if she hasn't stepped on stage in a while. She looks good too, though. Lines in the quads.
Let's see here. 2-time Olympia competitor, 3-time Arnold Classic competitor. Looks like she competed. What year was this? She did the Olympia in, I think that's the 2020 tracksuit. She's from Puerto Rico. She's got a lot of tattoos. Yeah, she did the Arnold Classic the year Cedric McMillan won. Okay. And then this is Kong Mo, M-O-U. She goes by Morgan Mo. Oh, Abby's gone. She's back.
Okay, I made it back.
A little bit of technical difficulty.
Just a little bit of technical difficulties.
And then I don't know, did we find out if Arika competed or not?
No, she's not. I didn't see her there.
Okay, so then the last person was Barbette Mulford.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I haven't seen her in a while either. I do remember watching her compete. I feel like when I was first starting out, I watched her in some pro shows. I don't remember the last time she stepped on stage.
Well, we'll finish up with this is the top 4 comparison coming out of prejudging.
Yeah, which I think is a good call.
Yeah. But yeah, besides the technical difficulties, it looks like we lost Austin. I'm not sure. I think he said he had plans in about 20 minutes, so maybe he called it. And then poor Jason, I sent you the link on your personal Instagram, and I sent the link to Austin on his email, and I never thought to send the link to the group chat. So he was sitting there for over an hour just waiting.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
I didn't realize that it was my personal. I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was the group chat too.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, so I'll have to make it up to him. So I felt bad about that. I didn't realize it till literally an hour in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because I'm used to people showing up late, but I'm like, man, an hour, like that's brutal.
Yeah, I'm the poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh, another time.
Yeah, another time. I have, let's see here. I have who's coming on tomorrow? We have man, I'm drawing a blank. It's 3 UK guys are coming on tomorrow. Dean White, Neil Curry, and then who's the third guy? God, I keep forgetting his name. I'm the worst. Rob Taylor. So those 3 guys are coming on tomorrow for a UK special. All 3 of them are Olympia qualified, so it's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, they are 8 hours ahead of me, so I will watch that. So that hopefully that'll come out sometime around Wednesday, and then this is gonna come out tomorrow, or maybe even tonight. I'm gonna try to get it out tonight as soon as I get back from paddleboarding.
Cool. Oh, we'll have fun.
It'll be a quick turnaround. But I'm gonna look into making that little NPC Instagram page and just start reposting show posters.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be fun. And then just like keep putting it out, like, hey, if you're a promoter, send your contest information to this email or this Instagram and get a free repost.
Just more exposure for the sport and promoters, and that's awesome.
Another project to take on. But Abby, appreciate you coming on for 2 hours, two good hours. We talked about fitness finally. I can't believe I missed it. I was literally just looking for the routines, like, oh, okay, this is fitness. But
no, they're on later tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to anything else you got going on? Finals are they done now, or?
Oh, they're nonstop. I had 2 last.
Really?
Actually, I think we have a break this week. I don't think we have anything coming up this week. And then we'll have a bunch more coming up the week after, because we're wrapping up this semester. We'll be done like beginning 2nd week of August. We'll get 2 weeks break, which will be real nice. So I'm looking forward to that, enjoying some summer. But so just keeping busy with school, training. We're still training, trying to just take in everything that happened last week and enjoy some downtime with friends and family as well. So,
good.
But still busy.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, stay busy, stay healthy as always. You're always good about that. And then we'll probably get you on the next couple weeks if you're always down for more Northern Muscle.
Northern Muscle
here on BNN. And then if you think of any Canadian athletes you want to bring on, let me know. I know Jaws Physique, the guy who placed 3rd at Classic for Vancouver.
Okay.
And then he also did Chicago. He just did Chicago. I forgot I think it's John Lee. I remember following him as an amateur. He's got like this crazy jawline. So his name is Jaws IFBB Pro. So I'm gonna see if I can get him to come on with us. So it'll be you, me, Tyler, of course, and then maybe one more.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm down. You just let me know.
Yeah, and then if you have any ladies from the CA you want to have them come on, let me know, and we can we'll try to schedule it out.
Sounds good to me.
Cool beans. All right, Abby. Devote Wear discount code Abby or Bolton.
So Devote Wear is Bolton 10.
Okay.
And then BioX Nutrition is Bolton 15.
Okay, too easy. And all my links are Saunch in the description of my Instagram. If you want to check them out and support me, you can, but definitely support Abby. And Austin Karr, HD Muscle, and he has his Steve Karr Classic and NPC show in Las Vegas. Support that. And I'm not sure what his other stuff is, but check out his Instagram as well. As always, the links for the athletes on the show are in the description of the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, continue the conversation in the comment sections below, and let us know what you want to see next, specifically for Northern Muscle, especially athletes you want to see come on. Message Ian and harass him, message Antoine Valiant and harass him, be like, go on BNN, and maybe we can get those to happen. And Quentin, message Quentin as well, everybody. So sorry guys if you guys get harassed, but I'd love to see those guys on. So that'll do it. Abby, have a good day. Enjoy your Saturday, and let me know your thoughts on finals for the women's fitness.
I will. Yeah, I'm excited to watch the routines.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
All right.
All right, guys.
Enjoy paddleboarding.
Yes, I will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Subscribe, and we'll see you guys in another one. Abby, thanks, and I'll see you around.